It's refreshing on the weekends, or especially after a long day of work. On average, we drink about 26.2 gallons of it each year. But how is it made? Today we're going to be taking an inside look at how beer is made here at Prison City Brewery in Auburn, New York. The brewing process itself can be broken down into 5 steps, the first being mashing. Mashing is just as it sounds. It's the combination of grinded malt ingredients like barley, as well as other grains, with hot water known as liquor.
A little over half of the flavor of the beer comes from the malt. The rest comes from hops and the yeast.
The liquor hydrates the malt and converts enzymes from the grains into fermentable sugars. Next up are the Vorlauf and watering steps.
It's to recirculate, to clarify the beer, basically, is what the Vorlauf step is for, is to reduce the amount of protein in it, and then lautering is basically moving it out after you've filtered it. So.
Once the beer is transferred to the lauter tank and the grains are separated, the dried grains are removed and then used to feed cattle. After lautering, the boiling process is used to remove excess water and unwanted bacteria from the mixture. The beer is then transferred to the whirlpool tank where hops are added. Hops provide a distinct bitter taste for certain beers like IPAs.
And so they're these little flowers. They look like cones, and they produce lupulin, which makes bitter in different flavors like that.
The whirlpool process also concentrates the beer and removes any excess grains or hops from the mixture. The beer is then chilled after the whirlpool process.
During the knockout, you cool it down to the fermentation temperature, add oxygen to it, and send it out to the tank.
Yeast is added, and the fermentation process of 2 to 3 weeks begins. Once fermentation is complete, the beer is canned or put into kegs for distribution.
For us, being able to have the tap room and sell directly to customers that way, obviously, the margins are a lot better that way than, going through a distributor and, wholesalers, retailers.
And customers can get a glimpse of the process as well.
It's always cool for people to be able to hang out in the tap room and kind of see the beer being made as they're drinking it, see all the equipment and get a little bit of the idea of the process and what goes into it.
So the next time you crack a cold one, you'll know exactly what it's made of and the process behind it. Brendan Scanlon, NCC News.